We're going to amend 10A and add attachment of salary schedule for January 1st, 2023 to June 30th, 2023. Can I get approval of the amendment?
I move that we approve the agenda as amended.
I'm sorry, I didn't know we were going. 'cause I
We're
can't-
going.
Sorry, I apologize, I
It's
can't
okay.
hear. your
Well, it's
things
all right.
not on.
We're going.
It is?
I can't hear you.
Okay.
I apologize, now I can. Left just socked me, I'm fine, I
I just
apologize.
gently nudged her.
I apologize.
I think there was even a gavel involved.
Sorry.
Okay, so for number 2, Carissa, we're going to amend 10A and add attachment of salary schedule January 1st, 2023 to June 30th, 2023. And Lef, would you like to repeat what you said?
I move that, or make the motion that we approve the agenda as amended.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Do you have to make a motion if one person's not here?
Oh, How do
It
you-
passes 4-0 with one.
abstained. No, not abstained. It's
Absence.
abstained with one absence. 4-1 with one absence. Do I have to say that?
4-0.
4-0, one absence.
I'm not the only one.
So left, does that mean I have to say that every single time?
Yeah. You should.
Let me write that down.
Unless she's not dialing in, is she? She's not dialing in.
Is there any public comment? No. Okay, so we're gonna convene the closed session. We're going to reconvene to open session for a report of action taken, no action taken in closed session. 4B flag salute. We're going to have Dylan and Parker. Oh, from Tech High. Apologize.
Please rise for the flag salute. Right hand over heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated.
Parker? Here, Parker, thank you very much. And here, Dylan, thank you very much. We have a presentation from Technology High about the summer bridge and internships.
We're really excited to begin our school showcases again for year 2. And this year we really wanted to focus on our students and have our students present the work that they're doing in the classroom. So our first are our Technology High students, and we're really excited to have them here.
Wow, you guys are doing everything tonight.
Make sure you pull the mic down close enough, too. There you go.
Hello? Okay, I think we're good. Okay, good evening, board. Thank you, Dr. Perez, for that introduction. As Dr. Perez mentioned, my name is Parker, and I am well, actually, I don't know if she mentioned it, but I am Parker. My name is Parker Stagnoli. I'm a senior at Technology High School, and I do a little bit around campus. I am the captain on our robotics team, I started a newspaper this year, and I'm also one of our 3 senior representatives for ASB, and that means that I've ran Summer Bridge or been a part of Summer Bridge for 2 years now. So I'm really excited to be able to talk to the board about this amazing opportunity we have here at Tech High. So just getting right into the presentation here, I want to start by highlighting the LCAP goal that Summer Bridge most aligns with, and that's goal 3 here, creating an optimum learning environment. As we'll see throughout the course of the presentation, that's really the whole principle behind Bridge, is creating that environment and that community for incoming freshmen to prosper for the years to come. Now, what is Summer Bridge? Let's start by answering that question. I think it's best described as an expanded freshman orientation. It emphasizes building community by bringing incoming freshmen onto campus for a 3-day program at the end of summer. And those incoming freshmen are led in all sorts of activities that help them kind of acclimate to the culture, the academic environment, and the traditions we have here at Tech High. The twist is that the students leading those activities are themselves Tech High students, grades 10 through 12. So it's a student-led program. Now, Bridge was first, kind of came to be first back in 2021 out of concerns that the Tech High community might not have held up quite as well as we would have liked throughout distance learning. We had such positive results from that first year that we decided to bring it back once again this past summer as well. I do want to give a bit of a shout out here to our wonderful Miss Campos and Miss Alvarez, shown in this fun little picture on the slide. They're the organizers of Summer Bridge. They're also our ASB and yearbook advisors, respectively. So they do so much on Tech High campus, and we really appreciate them. Now, I mentioned that Summer Bridge is a student-led program. A key part of that is ensuring that student leaders have the resources they need to succeed. And to that end, we actually bring all student leaders, we invite them onto campus the week before Summer Bridge occurs for a 4-day training. The first 3 days are dedicated to Miss Campos and Miss Alvarez, showing us all the types of activities we're going to be doing with our groups. Then the 4th day is a prep and organizational day. After that, from that point on, the entirety of Summer Bridge is student-led. Now, I've kind of thrown around the term activities a couple times in this presentation. I know that's pretty broad, so I wanted to help out in that definition by showing the schedule from day 1 of previous year's Bridge on the screen. It's a whole slew of items that we participate in. We actually have a SEL curriculum called Character Strong that we use for a lot of the icebreakers and discussion type activities. And then we also do some group games Usually a pretty popular one is the relay race we do on the last day called the Great Race. Now, from preliminary data, we knew that about 86% of incoming freshmen had participated in at least one day of Summer Bridge, but we wanted to delve further. So we sent out a follow-up survey, one to attendees and one to leaders. And overall, throughout the data, we saw that we provided a really solid base for incoming freshmen. Participants especially enjoyed the process of getting to know their peers and leaders. And there's a really positive reception to a lot of the group activities and games we played. The preliminary data is available, the raw data is available on this QR code or link, but I have highlighted a couple of the key data points in the slides. I want to focus on one, though, in the interest of time. It's a really simple question. I met new friends at Summer Bridge, and around 75% of students responded in the affirmative here, which is really powerful to me because that's a whole core principle of Summer Bridge, is ensuring that incoming freshmen have those communities and those friendships coming into freshman year so that they can start strong in high school. Now, I think that whilst the program is primarily focused on those incoming freshmen, it can be really valuable and beneficial for leaders as well. The people leading those, Tech High students leading those groups of incoming freshmen get a lot. And I want to highlight the story of one student, Sierra McCurry. She's a senior. With her permission, I did a little bit of an interview, and she told me something that was honestly really heartwarming. She said that she's always enjoyed teaching, but Summer Bridge was this catalyst moment for her that showed her that it's something she should consider as a career path. So who knows, we might have a new CRPUSD teacher in some years just because of Summer Bridge, and that was just put a smile on my face. So Summer Bridge, it's a 3-day evolution on the traditional freshman orientation program, to kind of summarize here. The aim is to develop culture and community, and then the preliminary data we have and then the survey data shows that we were largely successful in that goal. I don't want to pitch Summer Bridge as entirely perfect. We've only done it for 2 years, so we definitely have some areas to tweak, and I think one of those is the saturation of character strong and icebreakers we do. I was getting some feedback that we might have had a little too much in that regards on the survey. So I think that would be a great opportunity to phase in some advice from student leaders for academic success, give some more concrete takeaways, and also give just yet another avenue for the student leaders leading their groups of incoming freshmen to develop those connections. Because, I mean, what's a better opportunity than giving advice from what you've learned in high school? Now, I do have on the screen here the total budget for Bridge. That's $3,500 right here. And that figure includes all sorts of expenses from teacher stipends, notebooks, backpacks, pens we're purchasing for students, rally activities and materials, and also the binders that leaders are given, all that type of thing. So thank you so much, board, for listening to this presentation on Bridge. I think it's an amazing opportunity, and I can't tell you just how passionate we are about continuing it at Tech High since it's so beneficial. I'm going to turn it over now to Dylan Miles, also an amazing Tech High student, also a senior, and he's going to tell you a little bit about the internship class that he's actually a part of.
Thank you, Parker.
Thank you very much, Parker, for that introduction, and thank you very much, board. My name is Dylan Miles. I am the communication manager for Yearbook this year, and I'm also a member of Miss Mason's internship class, which I want to tell you a little bit about. Before I get started, I want to highlight the LCAP goal that this class most applies to, and that is Goal 2, which is the goal that wants to implement a course of study that meets all of students' needs, and as well as fits their interest and prepares them for their chosen future. So how did we get started with the internship program? Near the end of 2019, Tech High received a K-12 Strong Workforce grant through the Sonoma County Office of Education, along with some assistance from the Career Technical Education Foundation. And so through this grant, we sent our first interns out in the 2020-2021 school year. These interns came from several schools, including Tech High, but we personally sent 3 interns out, and they were placed at SMC Limited, which is a company that manufactures high-quality medical devices. These interns were placed in the fields of product development, manufacturing, and quality assurance. So how did we get started with our own program at Tech High? The idea was originally pitched to students in the spring of last year. They were given a brief course description, and a while after, a survey was sent out to gauge interest. There was enough interest shown that the original 3 interns came back to talk to the junior engineering class about what their experiences were in the internship and how it had helped them. Then Miss Mason, our wonderful teacher, wrote an in-depth course description and went in front of the UFC board, the University of California board, and got it A through G approved. This year, we have 12 seniors enrolled in the class. So how does a senior go from enrolled in the class to active in an internship? There are a couple of different steps I want to go over. First, they'll assess their interests and set up their resume. Then they explore their chosen field. This can be done through informational interviews with someone who is in the field currently or a job shadowing. Then they will submit their qualifications and their resumes and be placed in an internship. In this case, we are working with SRJC. We are using 2 college classes, which they'll be taking as they take the internship class, to help them to make the most of this experience. We're taking the Counseling 6 class, which helps students with career development and understanding the courses that they're and the careers that they might want to place an internship in. And we are also taking the Occupational Work Experience 99 course. That course is what will guide the students through the actual internship they place themselves in and how to make the most of their experience. So how has it gone so far? Of course, last year we had the original 3 interns, and they reported positive experiences, and a lot of them, I think at least one of them has continued at the company they were at. For this year's group, we're currently at the stage of job shadowing. And I believe that looking around my classmates, we've succeeded in one of the key goals, tying back into that LCAP goal, we've succeeded in one of the key goals of this project, which is diversifying the aspects of the class. We've got students this year who are looking not only to place in the STEM fields that are so core to Tech High, but also to place in accounting, marketing, and nursing. The next steps, how do we improve this program for future classes? I think that the best way to improve this program is to tie it back in even further. We want to diversify interests even further. Tech High is at its core a STEM field or a STEAM school. It's somewhere that science, technology, engineering, and math are really the primary focus. But by broadening this class and attracting students with more diverse interests, as well as companies with more diverse interest, we can greater suit that LCAP goal 2, which would allow more students to find ways to suit their interests. Thank you very much. Parker Stagnoli will now come back out and we can field any questions you may have about either of our topics.
I just want to say it's pretty impressive. I think this is the first time we had 2 students do the whole presentation for their school, so I appreciate that. It's very impressive.
So Parker
Yeah.
and Dylan, I got a couple questions for you.
Great.
I think it's great that you're doing the orientation program. And how much do you value, and how much do you think the school values, the fact that students are felt welcome, and then 2, my kids went to the ranch, so the Tech High was barely in its inception when my kids were going through. But I would imagine that kids, young adults, form groups, and you have your close peers of friends and things like that. So is that a similar situation at Tech High? I mean, or are you all one big group?
Yeah, thank you so much for that question. I think that, in general, one thing that was pitched to me about Tech High when I chose to come here as a freshman was that since we have a smaller community, it really is like one big family, and I think that that's held true. And I think that that kind of attests to your first question. We really do value that, making sure that everyone feels included and everyone feels like they're part of a community, and Bridge is just one step in that process. And while I say it, I mean, we do definitely there are definitely groups of friends and that type of thing throughout our campus. Everyone is still united and really feels like they're a part of this greater Tech High community. I think that is all really comes back down to the small school setting that we have. And then also these types of programs we do, such as Bridge, and in general, just our ability as our culture that we've kind of set up over these past numerous years of making sure that we're all a part of that small community.
Sure. My next question is, where I know how valuable a smaller environment is and how you can be successful in that. Have you seen friends and peers go from a Tech High to a Cal Berkeley? Now you've got 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 students. And you're not 300 or 400 anymore in your small group. Have you seen that step as a bridge to going to larger universities as a challenge?
Yeah, I think that's a really interesting point, and I actually had a friend who he talked to me about that when I was a middle school friend, when I was choosing technology high school, and that's something we talked about a lot. I will say that we have plenty of Tech High students who go to larger schools. That's not an uncommon thing. In particular, I know that we had a graduate 2 years ago to go to Berkeley just here. I know that was just an example. But I think that that definitely is a step, and I don't think it's a massive one or a concerning one at all. As a Tech High student right now, looking into college, I'm really looking into larger colleges because Tech High, it prepares you in this really well-rounded academic way that definitely it's a step up in the environment you're in, but you feel prepared because you have such solid fundamentals as a student that it doesn't really faze you. Personally, that's how I feel. And I think that that represents a lot of my peers' feelings as well.
Great, thank you. You're both great examples of successful students. And I think, what was the last question I had? Oh, internships. I can't tell you how valuable internships are. Two of my kids, they were students too, did internships when they went to college. So, and I've, over the time I've been on the school board, there's been some, work experience programs and things. And I know Joe's union with the electricians, those type of experiences are priceless because you can either, because when I graduated from high school, I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I went to college, and I got out of college, and I didn't know what I wanted to do because I'd never really done an internship type of thing. But so having, passion or experience, and so this program is outstanding for, and I hope that we can grow those, so you can get internships and you can go out and see what you're happiest doing type thing. That's what life's all about, getting a good education and then finding a job where you're happy, not just going there and getting a paycheck and coming home and paying the bills type of thing. So, so I really think the internships are just a great thing. And I know we can't make that a requirement for all students to do that, but it's a real valuable experience. So thanks again.
Thank you very much.
I have a question. Excellent presentation of public speaking skills, by the way. I didn't catch the bridge dates for the program, but I was wondering, is this for Tech high school applicants, or is this for those that have already been accepted?
The latter, already been accepted.
Okay. All right, so is there any part or suggestions of maybe extending this to recruiting drives within the district? Maybe to LJ and to Tech Middle?
That's a tough one. I think that Bridge kind of works because, again, we're a smaller community at Tech High, right? And it's a smaller program. And so I think that having that connection with leaders, for example, this year we actually moved, so like I mentioned, I've done it 2 years. In the first year, there were just 1 or 2 of us for a group of some 25 students, I think. Mm-hmm. And this year we moved to a few more leaders, a group, 3 or 4, and I was really honestly concerned. I felt like that might be a little overwhelming for the incoming freshmen, but it actually worked amazing. And so I think that shows how having a really solid ratio of upperclassmen leaders or 10th grade leaders to incoming freshmen is important in the program's success, and I'm not sure you could achieve that same ratio with a kind of outreach program.
Okay, but at the same time, you could also say it's preaching to the converted and that these kids are already committed to going, right? So
mm-hmm. Yeah, that's totally fair as well, yeah.
Okay. I mean, it sounds like it's a great program, and Tech is a great program, but I guess my question is more along the lines of how do we get more people taking advantage of that program?
I can help with that one.
Okay.
So we actually are doing middle school visits this week. We're going, so 43% of our student body actually comes from out of Cotati Roanoke Park School District. So this week we're focusing on visiting both in and out of district schools, going and sharing a little bit about Tech High, and we actually have students going to do those presentations as well to share their experiences. And then we also have we go out to the middle schools, we help them with applications. So they have application assistance from technology high school students as well. In November, we do Titan tours, where students are scheduled to come on campus. We tour them around school. We do some similar team building activities. They get to see classrooms, talk to teachers, talk to other students. And then in the spring, we do one more event for students who have accepted to go to Tech High, and then Summer Bridge is for the students that are committed to Technology High School. So there's a progression of events that we do, and then our counselor, Christina Juarez, is actually working on some programs, building some programs in the coming years to actually work with 6th and 7th graders too, so it's not so 8th grade focused, but also including the other middle school grades as well.
Okay, awesome. I mean, if I were a 6th or 7th grader considering it and I saw this kind of presentation, I'd be like, I want to be that successful when I'm a senior, right? So, good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Does anyone else have any more questions? Thank you. Awesome, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Do you have any public comments? So we're going to move on to communications, student board members report. Start with Naomi.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having me. It's been a very energetic month at Technology High School. In the past month, our counselor, Ms. Juarez, has hosted guidance nights for all grade levels, sharing information about 6-year plans, college applications, and THS services. We also hosted our first THS parent info night, with our second one happening tomorrow. This provides the opportunity to 8th grade families interested in learning more about THS to attend an informational meeting on campus. We have teachers and students there to share their experiences and more about what THS offers. Last Friday was the end of the first quarter. Many of my classmates took the PSAT, and many were focusing on studying for exams. After having a couple of stressful weeks, we can now move forward to more enjoyable moments. Wellness Week is happening this week. This allows us to show appreciation to our classmates for all their hard work by recognizing everyone, by creating stars for students and teachers. We will also have games, music, and we will give everyone goodie bags made with a lot of appreciation from ASB students. Homecoming will be next Saturday, October 29. Our theme is Masquerade Ball. Our homecoming committee has been hard at working, planning, budgeting, and organizing that event. A rally will take place next Friday, and throughout the week, we will have Spirit Week that was organized by Ella, our Spirit Commissioner. The theme will be fall, and it will include many games where we make sure to include everyone to participate, along with Teachers' Appreciation. Spirit Days are Tuesday, Flannel Day, Wednesday, Pink Out Day, Thursday, Throwback Thursday, Friday, tutus, ties, and tiaras. Drama and band will be performing. Everyone is looking forward to that event. Volleyball and girls and boys soccer cross country have been happening. We look forward to cheering on our student athletes. As always, senior night for boys and girls is this Friday, October 21. Come cheer our teams. Boys play at 3 and girls at 5:30 with senior recognition between games. As of ASB, our first middle school visit took place yesterday. It is one of the many middle school visits we plan on doing to share about our wonderful community we have. Our partnership with Chick-fil-A, the $1 Million giveaway, will take place on November 4. We are looking forward to working with John Reed Elementary to visit campus, read to students, and distribute books for libraries. We are in the process of making this come true, to make this not only memorable for us, but to bring a smile to the kids. I look forward to sharing next month's report. Thank you.
Thank you. David?
All right. Hello. Thank you for having me and letting me speak tonight. We have concluded our annual Ribbon Week, which showed awareness to anti-bullying, cancer, mental health, alcohol, drugs, and the LGBTQ plus community. Also, we have concluded Homecoming Week. It was a Spirit Week rally royalty, game, and dance. Our theme for the rally was premiere night. We held spirit days surrounding this theme. Monday was movie night, wear your comfiest pair of pajamas. Tuesday was fans of the stars, represent your favorite movie or show with the TV or with the t-shirt or accessory. Wednesday was walking in style, kicks versus Crocs, wear either sneakers or Crocs. Thursday's iconic duo, with the partner dress up as an iconic duo, either color block or dress up as the characters. And Friday was blockbuster premiere. Freshmen, Jurassic Park, wear green and brown. Sophomores, Grease, wear black and red. Juniors, Clueless, wear pink and yellow. Seniors, The Great Gatsby, wear black and gold. And then staff, Casey the Spirited Cougar, wear Rancher Blowout. Our floats were based off the blockbuster debut, Spirit Day. All the floats were amazing, and the sophomores won the competition. Our homecoming royalty winners were, for the freshmen, Addison Clark and Leia Maldonado. Sophomores, Drew Kennedy and Rinaldi Thomas. Juniors, Yael Mendez and Janice Williams. Seniors, Melanie Maldonado and David Cepeda. I also want to give a huge shout out to all the nominees. Our varsity Cougars won our homecoming game 31-13. On top of that, we held an amazing rally and dance. After the homecoming week, we had finals week. It was a long week of hard work, and I hope everyone got the grade they worked for. And then I'd like to end my report tonight by stating that the State Seal of Civic Engagement helps to support our new school-wide learning outcomes, and part of these outcomes include active community members, and the State Seal helps recognize people who have contributed to the community. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Next for communications, we have Ripsia with Ben.
All right, hello everybody. I'm gonna try to make this, I don't know, I'm probably gonna lean like this the whole time, huh? I just wanted to say hello, good evening. Thank you for having me here to speak to you. I wanted to share first off a few nice things that are happening around our campuses, or good things that are happening in our district. I heard back from Lawrence Jones. They're gonna be taking 146 sixth grade students, 22 parent chaperones, and 7 teachers to outdoor ed at Alliance Redwoods from November 7th to 10th. I remember going to outdoor ed as a 6th grader. I remember how formative that was for me. I remember the instructor turning over a rock and finding a tiny rattlesnake and clearing everybody away from it as quickly as possible so that nothing bad happened. It was an unbelievable experience, and it's such an amazing thing that we're providing that for our students and getting them out there. That, in addition to the expansion of outdoor ed into the 5th grade, I can't say enough how cool I think that is. My students actually at the beginning of this month came back from the Cazadero Music Camp. It spoke about this a little bit last month. It was every bit what I hoped it would be. My advanced band group, I had a lot of students who had quit band during the COVID years and came back this year, having not played since 5th grade or 6th grade, and getting them out there, getting them that one-on-one instruction, getting them to bond out in a different place where they did not have any cell phone reception went a really long way. And again, I want to acknowledge Elena DeMars for helping to make that happen. The progress has just jumped through the roof on our work in that class, and I feel really, really lucky to have had that opportunity. Since the last board meeting, we've received the unaudited actuals for the 2021 to 2022 school year, and they definitely included some interesting figures. Total revenues in 2020 to 2021 were $72,852,586. The district budgeted for $71 million and change for 2021 to 2022. Unaudited actuals show that the 2021-2022 total revenues were $85,300,622, about $14 million than budgeted. A lot of extra money coming from the state. It's a good time for us for that, and we're all very happy to see that. That's good news. Wages as a percentage of the budget, going to our bargaining salaries remain much lower than the statewide average, even after negotiated raises. 32.21% of our outgo was dedicated to bargaining unit salaries in 2020 to 2021. That dropped to 30.98% in 2021 to 2022. The statewide average in this budget category is 37.23%. We're working on closing that gap. We're getting there. And we thought we were getting there, but we also moved backwards. We lost a lot of teachers who'd been around for a long time. We got some new ones. But that number's going the opposite of the direction we want right now. Admin wages. Admin salaries as a percentage of the budget are above the statewide average of 5.68%. In 2020, 2021, they were 6.35%. In 2021, 2022, they were 6.65%. So we've actually seen a raise there. Benefits, percentage of the budget going to healthcare benefits for all employees decreased from 14.82% to 13.81% across the same time span. Healthcare costs are not this increasing problem that maybe we thought they might have been. Total salary and benefits for all employees have declined and remain way below what they should be, from 77.41% of the school budget in 2020 to 21 to 76.43% of the budget last year. School Services of California argues that it takes people to teach people. We got to be paying our people a significantly greater portion of our budget. Finally, our unrestricted total reserves have increased. In 2020, 2021, they were 8.18%, $5,805,986, increasing to $9,434,227. That's 11.53% in 2021, 2022. With a new state law being triggered this year that districts should spend down their reserves if they're over 10%, it's pretty clear that our legislators are interested in us spending money on our kids now. We owe it to them after the last couple years of COVID time. The bottom line here is that we fought hard for a significant salary increase that's brought the district closer to being able to recruit and retain the best possible educators. The 2021-2022 statewide average wage is expected to be around $88,000. Our average wage is $71,452. We're going to continue to fight in the years coming. When we're looking at that next contract coming up, we are going to continue working toward getting us to that point where we can actually compete with other districts in our community, other districts in our county, other districts in the state, to bring the best possible teachers here and keep the people who are super highly qualified who do come here. We cannot afford to lose people like we've lost them in the past. It makes it hard to have consistency across the years at a site. It makes it hard to grow a community of educators, a professional learning community. We have to get to the point where we can recruit people and keep them. We can't have people quitting to go work in food service full-time because you somehow get paid better in tips doing that than you do here. Last month, the board made it very clear that teachers need to be more proactive about providing you with information about the way that the district is running. I'm here to do that. I want to get to the facts of what's happening in our district in a moment here, but I need to be clear about the context. Since the end of the strike, our leadership in the district has consistently pushed reconciliation with the teachers. That's great. We would love to reconcile. We would love to be able to do that. You can talk about that as much as you want, but when you continue to infringe on our working conditions, when you continue to be unsuccessful in running some of the most basic, important parts of a school district, it's hard to find a way to do that. I can safely say that the vast majority of our membership would love to be able to develop a positive cooperative relationship with district leadership. But while district leadership speaks of restoration, the actions that they take have continued to alienate our members to the point that I don't believe our relationship is reparable with the current leadership. You've heard about it last week. Hopefully you've heard about it outside of that too. elementary adjunct duty is our big hot button issue here, something that we've issued a cease and desist to the district over. The district emailed us on October 6th to let us know that they had made the decision to ignore our cease and desist and resume the implementation of elementary adjunct duty on November 9th, 2022, the beginning of the second trimester at the elementary schools. We maintain that Article 4.2.2 has not been enforced at the elementary level in the past. A primary teacher volunteering to complete duties that would be counted as adjunct duty at the secondary level is not the same thing as district administration requiring elementary teachers to complete 20 hours of adjunct duty as outlined in Article 4.2.2. Elementary teachers have the right to volunteer their time how they want to. That does not mean that adjunct duty has been implemented at that level. The district has so far provided no evidence that adjunct duty has been tracked and required at the primary level. Article 4.2.2 stipulates that duties shall be assigned on an equitable basis at each site. Since as early as 1985, that's the oldest contract I could find. The district's inability or unwillingness to produce evidence that adjunct duty has been assigned and tracked at the primary level supports our argument that adjunct duty has been a secondary-only stipulation for a very long time. It is an established past practice. The district is arguing that this is not past practice, that this is something that's been going on at that level. That is simply not true. It's not. By negotiating additions to the duties required for adjunct duty in Article 4.2.2 in the 2017 or 2018 contract, the district acknowledged that work condition changes must be bargained on to be changed. The established practice, again, for more than 4 decades has been that elementary teachers do not perform adjunct duty as outlined in 4.2.2. The district cannot change that without bargaining it. Elementary adjunct duty was stopped by Robert Haley when a grievance was brought to him informally before it even reached the formal grievance process when a John Reed administrator between 2012 and 2014 began trying to implement adjunct duty. The current president at the time, David Freebairn, brought evidence or brought the materials that were being passed out for teachers to sign up for the adjunct duty, showed Haley, and he said, no, this is our past practice. We're not gonna break that now. We're not gonna open that can of worms. We are currently in the process of preparing a second, we already have one open, a second unfair labor practices charge against the district. We're prepared to take any steps necessary to protect our working conditions from continued infringement. We also expect that after the district backs down on this unlawful change, we'll see no further illegal infringement of our contract. While this change in working conditions was clearly designed to help to create a divide between primary and secondary teachers, it's an issue that doesn't change our working conditions at the secondary level. It only affects the elementary teachers. This was clearly designed to divide us. This was done with the belief that secondary teachers would not stand up for the elementary teachers, and I'm here to say that we stand united. We're together on this. We cannot have these changes happen. We cannot have this continue. How can we build a relationship with our district leadership if they are every single opportunity finding a new thing to trample on with us? I don't want to be fighting with them over this. I would rather be working on starting to build a list of articles that we can work together to make more clear in our contract for next year so we can do some spring cleaning and have a more functional document that people can read and understand. I would rather be working on solutions to making sure that MTSS training that the district is trying to implement right now is actually able to be done in a way that is effective and beneficial and that teachers feel is useful and practical. I don't want to be fighting over this stuff. I'm sick of it. We're all sick of it. There needs to be some sort of a directive that the district backs off on this, or that the district makes a point to consult with us before implementing things like this so that we can bring up concerns ahead of time or something. We can't go on like this. We also have safety issues at the elementary schools. I've had several reports from different elementary schools, not just one. The most common one that I hear reports from is TPA, about teachers being attacked by students during class. We had a productive meeting yesterday where we discussed options for remedying this. But I will be meeting with the site reps and the members at the elementary level and discussing an appropriate approach to ensure that the district follows through on those plans that we put together yesterday and upholds Article 11 of the contract. Our teachers are entitled to a safe classroom. Our students are entitled to a safe classroom. If we've reached that point already where teachers feel unsafe, that represents a huge failure on the part of district leadership. I really do see a safe classroom as the most basic need of our students. If they can't feel safe in their classroom, if the teachers don't feel safe in the classroom, I don't know how learning can take place. Lastly, last month you responded to my speech by explaining the evaluation process that Dr. Perez went through. While I have a better understanding of how that evaluation took place, I can't help but feel that making decisions on raises and extensions based on a single evaluation criterion is unbelievably myopic. I appreciate your focus on curriculum development in our district. I'd go as far as to say that it is desperately needed, and I would like to acknowledge that thanks to the hard work and passion of Dr. Lucelena Perez and her team of curriculum specialists, the implementation seems to be going pretty well. I'm dismayed to read of her leave of absence in the agenda for tonight. I hope that all is well. My last question, and I hope you can get back to me elsewhere through email. I can write down my contact information, but I would like to, if possible, know what the evaluation criteria is this year. That's all I got to say. Thank you very much.
So Ben, thank you for your words. 2 questions for you. You listed off all these financial numbers and the additional funds that we're getting. Do you know how much of those funds are one-time?
I have the data.
Pardon me?
I have the data in the analysis of the unaudited actuals, but I do not have it in front of me right now.
So what I suggest is that you sit down with this gentleman over here to understand how much of that stuff's one time and the importance of one time. Because we're looking at buying textbooks and things that we haven't done for a lot of years. And my other comment is I can't negotiate with you. Up here, you can go on and say this and this and this and this and this, and we're not allowed to say, well, you're right, you're wrong, you're out in left field, you're out in center field, you're off base, you're on base, because that's negotiating, which we're not allowed to do. So I would hope, instead of coming to us all the time and saying this and this and this, that those conversations would happen with the negotiating team and work that out. And we work on a collaborative basis as opposed to not a collaborative basis. So I want to do everything for the teachers that we can financially, but we have to live within our budget. So those are my comments. Thank you.
Thank you. I came here to share information, not to negotiate. I totally understand.
Hey, Ben, I had a question. Did you say there were multiple instances of teachers being attacked at a school?
I've received at this point multiple reports of students hitting teachers, throwing rocks, that kind of a thing.
And you said it was primarily at a single school?
Primarily at the elementary level. I've heard multiple instances at TPA.
Okay, thank you.
Of those teachers, let me just, curious, have those teachers, on or off here? I'm on, but I got to speak into the mic to make it work. I would assume that those teachers are reporting that to their principals, not just, coming back to you type of thing. It's kind of like the chain of command. How do you deal with a problem? Is I don't go complain to my brother, I go to mom and dad and say, here's the situation type thing. So I hope that's happening. When you say I heard, you weren't there, I wasn't there. I'm not doubting it type of thing, but I just hope that they would go through the appropriate thing, so.
Right. It is my understanding that these were reported to admin. They're working on it. One of the things we discussed yesterday was making sure that all teachers in our site are familiar with the proper procedure when that happens and what steps need to be taken, whether that's filling out a resig form or what. But with a lack of training, especially for people, and onboarding for people who came in during COVID, and in such a large inexperienced population of our staff, some of that stuff people were not as clear on how they should handle that appropriately as maybe they should have been, and we're working with the district to ensure that that's remedied.
Okay.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you.
We have no report from CSEA or SEIU. 7E, receipt of official correspondence.
For 7E, you have a letter from Sonoma County Office of Education approving our adopted budget.
Thank you. We'll move on to the consent agenda. And no public comment. I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda A through N. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0 with one absence. I had it written down.
Okay, you go.
I'll forget the next one.
We seldom have somebody absent. This is probably the first time we've ever had this.
Educational services. 9A, approval of resolution 2023-6, state seal of civic engagement.
Before you have a resolution that we're asking for approval for the seal of civic engagement that will be part of our requirement for high school graduation. So this is a response to some important work that we need to do, and we're seeking approval tonight. I don't know if you have any questions for me.
No. Could I get a motion to approve 9A?
I'll make a motion to approve 9A.
Can I get a second?
I'll second that.
Roll call vote?
Trustee Brown,
Yes?
Trustee Chimino,
Yes.
Trustee Gillis,
Yes.
Trustee Nelson.
Yes.
Michelle Wing is not here. 9B, approval and adoption of course descriptions for Technology High School.
Okay, so these are new courses that the staff worked on last year. So you have before you, we're requesting the approval for a yearbook course, A to G required, and internship, A to G course description, instrumental music, A to G course description, and anatomy and physiology, A to G course description are attached, and then senior essentials course description. So these courses are all being offered, and we're asking for the board's approval.
I make a motion to approve 9B. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0 with one absence. 10A, approval of classified management salary schedule for behavioral specialist with the amendment to add attachment of salary schedule for January 1st, 2023 to June 30th, 2023.
Okay, currently, behavior specialists are on the certificated management salary, and in some instances, we do have behavior specialists that do apply to our district but do not have a credential. So that's why we're choosing and asking to place this on the classified management schedule. And this is in response to be able to support some of our students who are struggling with behavior, and really, I think it's a result of the pandemic and not being able to see doctors, not having the services that they require, or being in school. So we're actually going to be hiring 2 behavior specialists, one for general education to support staff in that manner, and also one for special education.
Thank you. you. Can I get a motion to approve 10A, approval of classified management salary schedule for behavior specialists?
Make a motion to approve 10A.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 4-0 with one absence. A, approval of resolution 2023-7, California Schools Healthy Air Plumbing and Efficiency Program governing body.
So in front of you tonight is a resolution for your approval to allow and award work to IES to, one, apply for the CalShape grants that are out there that are used to fund the assessment, maintenance, and repair of ventilation systems, installation of carbon dioxide monitors, and replacement of non-compliant plumbing fixtures and appliances. And we've worked with IES in the past, which is why we're wanting to work with them again. And if there are any questions, I think a rep was supposed to be here. Oh, there she is. Hi, Lisa. If you have any questions of Lisa,
Were they the ones that put in the COVID air filtration systems and such?
That was the
those have
district.
been installed already. This is
No, were they the ones who did it?
Oh,
I think our district did. I think Josh Savage.
Oh, okay,
yes,
okay.
yes, they
I
worked
just,
with
you
them,
said
yes.
we worked with them before,
That's
so I
correct.
didn't know if they did that other.
There's a lot of air conditioners in the district.
Yeah, it's nice and cool in here.
Is there any questions? Well, thank you for coming and fielding all of our questions. 11, can I get a motion to approve 11, the approval of resolution 2023-7, California Schools Healthy Air Plumbing and Efficiency Program governing body?
I'll motion that we approve 11A.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
I believe it's a roll call.
It is.
Brett?
It's a roll call. But
Brett, I gotta get a second.
Yeah.
and
I
then-
did second.
Wow, John. He's trying to give me an F, man. Roll call vote?
Trustee Brown,
Yes.
Trustee Chimino,
Yes.
Trustee Gillis,
Yes.
Trustee Nelson.
Yes.
Now Michelle Wing. 12B, Board Services. 12A, Fiscal Update and Planning.
So, my first update is the enrollment for September, and we were a net 2 student loss from September to August. We had August is, well, thank you, sorry. We lost two students from since August. We had 29 students and exits in the month of September. 7 went to private schools or home schools. 15 students went out of county. 3 students moved within the county, and there were 4 other situations. And then 31 sorry. Yeah, 31 entered, right? Yeah. So 2 went to or came from private schools or home schools, 10 from out of county, and 4 from within the county, and then there were 15 other. So net 2 negative. And then, as I do every month, there's a fiscal update of our budget, of our general fund budget. Glad to answer to any questions, but we're continuing to work towards, the end of this month is the end of the first interim, and we'll have a full report for you in December, but, we're continuing to update our budget accordingly as we get the most most current information available. That's it for me, unless there are any questions.
So, John, I have a question. We're hopefully won't impact us too quickly, but interest rates for housing loans have gone through the ceiling, which puts a lot of people out of the market from purchasing a house or affordability. So hopefully we don't have a long-term effect on that and see losing students due to the economy and stuff like that. So we're just in the beginning stages of that, but we need to watch that and see the impact. Although we have as many students coming in almost as the transition, that happens. So hopefully we don't see the adverse effects of that, going forward. So just cautious.
Yeah. As I think I've been prepping you, and word on the street is that we are heading toward some kind of recession. I don't think we're there yet, but there are concerns out there, and we're keeping an eye on it. Obviously, enrollment in AD is a huge part of our funding, and I'm very cautious, but happy that we're at the over 6,000 mark for enrollment, and that's a good thing. And that's the highest it's been in a while. So, but we'll keep you posted if we see any big jumps either way.
Thank you, John. 12B, approval of timeline for vacant seat for trustee area 4, 2022-2026 term.
So as you know, we have a vacant seat in trustee area 4. What you have before you is the approval of the timeline. We have announced in the Press Democrat and in the Community Voice. And then the next step that we would like to do as soon as tomorrow morning, we will post the application on our website to allow any candidates that are interested in applying. And then the application process would close on Halloween, the 31st. And then we will have a special board meeting on the 1st to interview all candidates that apply.
And that's only people from Area 4 can apply.
Only people from Area 4 can apply.
Can I make a motion to approve 12B, approval of timeline for vacant seat for trustee area 4 for the 2022-2026 term. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0 with 1 absence.
Joe, just a comment on that. The direction that we originally got from the county, this is something new, not only to our district, but aren't there, in the county, there are, 10 or 12?
11 others.
11 other districts that are in this situation. In some instances, one district has 3 open positions.
Right. And our first advice from the county was wait until after, and then recently just changed their about face, and so now we're having to jump through hoops and do this rather quickly type of thing.
So,
which is good. I mean, fine, but I'm just letting people know that
right.
the direction we're getting isn't real clear. So,
No. So I was asking about trustee areas, and I did speak to Dr. Harrington. He said wait till the election's certified. And then that was in conflict with the Office of Voter Registration. So an email went out with the district saying you need to have someone in place prior to the November 8th election. So that's why we're speeding up the process. Should we not find someone on November 1st, then that triggers the 60-day process. So then we would have 60 days to fill the position, and we could fly it again, and then have to find someone by January. If we aren't able to find anyone on our own, the county superintendent can select or appoint someone to serve on our board. But they still have to be from trustee area 4.
So that would not most likely be Steve Harrington. It would be the new county superintendent?
It could be, yes,
Okay,
depending on the timeline in the 60 days.
right. Okay, thank you.
All right. 12C, first reading and waive second reading, approval of revisions to AR 6153 school-sponsored trips.
So this is about school-sponsored trips with the big changes, the update on insurance requirements for parent and guardian drivers as recommended by the Redwood Empire School Insurance Group. And we're seeking, this is a first reading and waiving of the second reading, so we're asking for approval tonight.
Okay. Can I get a motion to approve 12C, first reading and waive second reading, approval of revisions to AR 6153 school-sponsored trips?
Make a motion to approve 12C.
Can I get a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion, opposed? Motion carries 4-0 with one absence. 12D, second reading, Exhibit 1113, district and school websites.
This we presented to you last time. It was a first reading, so this is, we're asking for approval tonight. This is our second reading.
Okay. I make a motion to approve 12D, second reading, Exhibit 1113, district and school websites. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0 with one absence. 12E, second reading, BP and AR 3523, electronic signatures.
So this is a second reading, and this is the allowance of electronic signatures, and we're asking for approval tonight.
Can I get a motion to approve 12E, second reading, BP and AR 3523, electronic signatures?
Make a motion that we approve.
Yeah, that's a second. Can you get?
Oh, pardon me? Sorry.
Okay, I make a motion.
Oh, you made it.
No.
Okay.
That's what I'll do this time. I'll make a motion to approve 12E. Can I get a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0 with one absence. 12F, first reading of BP and AR 7150, site selection and development. Oh, you want me to just go through these, or? I mean, we've all.
Well, this
gotten
is
these.
Mr. Bartolome's policy. This one.
Again,
I don't know if you have any questions for him.
yeah, unless there are any questions, I'll gladly answer.
We have no
I think you could
public
just read
comment
through.
on these either, right? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Does anyone, maybe everyone can just look at these. Does anyone have any questions on anything under 12? F through Q. Okay. Then I'm going to go through them. 12, I make a motion to approve 12F. Can I get a second? Oh, first reading, yeah. Okay. 12G, first reading of board policy 4140, 4240, 4340, bargaining units. Okay, no questions. 12H, first reading of administrative regulation 4161.2, 4261.2, 4361.2, personal leaves. 12I, first reading of bylaw 9100 organization. No questions. 12J, first reading of BP and AR 6158, independent study. No questions. 12K, first reading of BP and AR 5141.4, child abuse reporting procedures. No questions. 12L, first reading of BP and AR 5142, safety. No questions. First reading. 12M, first reading of BP and AR 5144.1, suspension, expulsion, due process. No questions. 12N, first reading of BP 5131, conduct. No questions. 12O, first reading of BP 5131.8 mobile communication devices. No questions. 12P, first reading of BP and AR 5135 gangs. No questions. 12Q, acceptance of gifts and donations to school and district.
We're seeking for approval for these generous donations from our variety of community members. I do want to note that we have 2 individuals that have agreed to sponsor students for outdoor education. They're assisting in that area. We're really appreciative of these donations.
I make a motion to approve 12Q, acceptance of gifts and donations to school and district. Can I get a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0 with 1 absence. 13, reports. 13A. Mark?
Yeah, so 2 weeks ago, we had the living document for the security document proposed, and we voted on that. Interim document's going to be updated through November and December, so it was good to see work on that being done with the Roanoke Park Department of Public Safety and the teachers and the sites, so we can get that to be even more effective, and we can become even more prepared. I guess the only real comment that I did want to make was that I was at the homecoming game for Rancho Cotati, and I did just want to express my appreciation to the Rancho staff and all of those that were there that took control of a situation that could have got out of hand very easily. I mean, I know the revulsion and anger that I felt was multiplied by, the whole crowd. So I was just very grateful for the way that was handled, and it didn't turn into something worse. I mean, it was a horrible situation to begin with, and, my thoughts go out to Liam and to his family, and I hope and pray for a swift recovery for him. But I've never been to anything like that at a high school level, where it felt like there was going to be a riot. So I was very appreciative of how that was handled. So I wanted to give a shout out to the admin staff that were there and took care of that. That's it.
I'll go. I got to visit Evergreen and talk to some of the kindergarten teachers, and sat with some of the elementary school teachers during their lunch, and just get to talk to them and see how they're doing and how they feel about certain things. And it was just like didn't really have an agenda, but it's just I was invited, and I appreciated that, and I took advantage of it, and it was a good experience. I've been watching, my kid is on the LGA soccer team, and been watching that. It's pretty exciting, watching them play. And I never thought I'd be so excited about high school, but I was having dinner and with some friends, and all our kids are about to go to the ranch, and play sports, and that's real exciting. I never thought I'd be that excited to see it, but it was, they grew up playing little kids, and now they're going to be in high school, and it's going way too fast. But I appreciate, I've appreciated my time here with my son, going through CRP USD. Like all the teachers that we've had, it just makes me look back and appreciate the experience. It's been, as a parent, it's been very wonderful. Lef?
Well, just a side comment to that, Joe. It'll go real quick, and then you'll be the second round. Grandkids. So, enjoy every day, and great times. Other than that, I have no other comments.
We miss you, Michelle.
She's been, texting me about her voting and
talked to her.
stuff. So,
Yep,
do you have anything else?
I do not.
Okay. Dr. Perez?
Forget the mic. Anyway, I've been doing some site visits. Since we last met, I was able to visit Technology Middle School and also John Reed. Always good things going on. Also attended the Leadership 40 meeting, which is with superintendents. We have an equity group that meets prior to the superintendent's meeting, and I was able to facilitate a consultancy protocol where we had a problem of practice in the area of equity, and we worked together to provide solutions and suggestions since we're all doing similar work. Visited the Chalk Off at Dr. Jamie's office. It's our local pediatric dentist, and it was a really exciting event with a bouncy house and kids decorating parking stalls. It was very exciting to see the kids and some of our staff there. I attended our LCAP meeting last week, well attended, where we discussed Goal 1, and we're also seeking input. So we look at the metrics and also seek input. I had a phenomenal time at the Han Walkathon where they rolled out the red carpet. It was an event to be experienced. It was a lot of fun. We had our DLAC meeting, which I facilitated this week in Spanish, because I think it's important to speak in Spanish to our DLAC members anyway, and so our liaison actually translated into English what I was saying. We had an MTSS team meeting, and today I actually met about our new partnership with SSU. It's called Reading Rescue, where we're going to have approximately 15 tutors come to our schools and work with first and second grade students who are not yet reading at grade level. And so they will be provided a 10-hour training, and then they will be supported along the way, and they will be doing surveys, and we'll be looking at data to see how our students progress. This is going to be offered at SSU as a course. So every January, it's potential that we will have 15 to 20 tutors for our students. And it's intervention, it's 30 minutes, and it's a well-modeled literacy intervention, which includes fluency, decoding or phonics work, as well as reading and writing. So it's really exciting program to be approached about, to be able to collaborate with our local university. And these are also undergraduate students that are interested in the credential program, so it's an opportunity to have them come see our schools and work with our students. And that's it for this evening.